Can I get a salami sandwich, please? So hungry. Hey, I'm Mandy Morris, and thank you for checking out my channel. If you like the videos that you're seeing here, where we talk about the psychology, the science, and the universal woo-woo around manifesting and creating the life that you want, as well as the reasons that you may not have been able to create or manifest what you desire yet, make sure that you like, you comment, you share, and you subscribe right now. It's so great. I'm joking because I need to eat a salami sandwich. Salami! So, question for today is how do you manifest fast? And I've noticed that the biggest reason, and okay, sorry, hate to burst your bubble, but I'm not gonna get super woo-woo here. I'm gonna talk about it very psychology-based. Psychology-based, just simplistically, is really what I'm doing, but I'm making it sound fancy. If you wanna manifest fast, all you have to do is act fast. Oh my gosh, it's so simple. So whenever you have an intuitive nudge that's like, let's do something, what's the first thing you do? I guarantee it's not to go do it. You sit there and you go, why shouldn't we do it? Because your monkey brain is programmed to be like, well, what's the risks? And how do we, make sure that we avoid pain and blah, blah, blah. And it completely sabotages the energetic flow of being able to get where you want fast. So one of the biggest things that I do when I'm like, all right, I wanna create a lump sum of money really fast, or I wanna create a really cool experience really fast. I've already set it out. I've already told the universe, let's just say that the universe is the one hooking it up. I've told the universe, this is what I want, help me create it. As soon as a thought comes in, I'm running with it. It doesn't matter if it sounds crazy or weird or whatever. I trust my intuition that the opportunities, the synchronicities, and the signs are gonna show up because my brain is always telling me information. It's always sending me information, and the universe is always supporting whatever it is that I desire. So if I say that I desire something, I want to create something, or I'm in process of, that's really the best way to say it, right? Verbiage is very important here. I'm in process of creating whatever it is that you want. Well, then you better be ready to pay attention and act fast to all the signs that are going to literally pop up right away, and take them, seize them, act upon them as quickly as you can. One of the biggest things that I see people do to sabotage their ability to manifest, everyone's manifesting. Let's stop and talk about that for just a second. Everybody's manifesting all the time. Crystal, which you can't see, she's behind the camera, is the one who reminded me of this. We're always manifesting. It's not like, oh, let me learn how to manifest. You're learning how to manifest what you want, but you're always manifesting. So remember that. Now, let's say that you're like, okay, well, how or what am I doing that's slowing down this process of manifesting? You say to act fast, Mandy, or whatever. That's it right there. Is that you're forgetting that as soon as you set out to create something, most likely your programming's coming in telling you why you can't have it. Because what we want in life, what we desire in life is always a step, it's like right out of reach, right? So one thing we really desire, but it seems so far away. Because if it was right in front of us, well, then we wouldn't be desiring it. And do you see the connection, or really the lack of connection there, that you forget that it's within reach? And so as soon as you say you desire something that is now perceivably out of reach, that you talk about and your brain has a conversation of all the reasons you're not allowed to have it, or why it's gonna be so hard, or here's the blueprint in order to get there, and it's based on programming instead of like universal truth and intuition. So the path that you're gonna do is like a ping pong ball instead of just a straight shot. Don't slow down the process by sitting there and second guessing everything, by trying to get advice from people or logic your way through it. This is about trusting yourself. And this doesn't mean that this is for everyone in the world. This lesson is a deep one, and you have to be willing to trust yourself and follow your intuition in order for this to be able to work. In order for you to be able to manifest fast, you gotta trust yourself. So if that's not for you, then throw this out the door. But you've got to be able to say, you know what, whatever comes through for me, I love myself enough and I trust myself enough that I believe that this is the next step to get me towards the thing that I am in process of creating. So I remember a long time ago, I wanted to buy this technology. I geek out in energy, frequency, science, technology. And so back when I was a therapist in Norway, I was working with this really cool device, and I was like, I wanna buy it. And it's pretty darn expensive. So I was like, well, okay, I don't want to dip into my savings, so how can I create something to pay for this? And it was within 15 minutes that a random thought passed through, and I think it was actually my partner who had said it, and he was like, you know, you should consider doing this thing. And it was totally out of context. And I was like, do tell, because he was the one providing the information from the universe. He was the one who like, hey, here's an opportunity to provide and create. And literally, I'm not kidding you, almost to the exact dollar amount, I created within less than 30 days the amount that I needed to purchase this technology without having to go through any of my savings or go through what my monkey brain would have told me, which would have been, okay, well, work harder and, you know, make sure that you maybe put it on a credit card, or, you know, the limited availability of thoughts that I had as to how to create the thing. I was like, hold on a second, universe knows something far better. Let's see what happens. And my answer came within 15 minutes. So let's say that you want to apply this whole idea and see if it even works today. You can basically start tapping into your intuition, which will allow for you to start manifesting faster, because the speed comes through via intuition when you say you want to create something. So do something really simple. After this video, sit with yourself for a moment and be like, what should I do for the next 15 minutes? Or should I go for a walk? Or should I stay home? Should I take a cold shower? Should I, whatever. Ask yourself if you should or should not do something, whether it makes sense or not, and feel the tug and the pull between it. Get really familiar with the energy. And then as soon as you feel the yes come through, like, yeah, you should go for a walk, or no, you shouldn't. And maybe your programming will pop up too and be like, you should go for a walk. That's the right thing to do. That's what's healthy. But your intuition's saying no. Dude, perfect time, right? You get to sit there and go, this is awesome that my intuition is telling me to do something that my programming wouldn't, or would say is the best thing to do and wouldn't tell me to do. Then I get to move back over and honor that. And then when you honor the intuition, sit and wait for what I call the reward. Because anytime that I follow my intuition, I've built a rule. Some rules are good and some are built to be broken. I built a rule that whenever I follow my intuition, which is as often as possible, that I will be rewarded for it. Whether that's with a really good feeling, with you know, an energy of self-love, maybe it's a monetary reward, or someone's gonna call me and say awesome things, or I'm gonna get great feedback from someone who just went through one of my programs. Whatever it is, I know that there's a reward on the other side for it, and it's going to accelerate and continue to promote my growth. So sit back. After your intuition tells you yes or no to doing something, creating something, or just sitting with yourself, and whatever information flows through, pay keen attention to it. See if there's maybe something within your thoughts that come through, or a phone call that randomly comes through, or something that someone says that evening, and be like, that's interesting. Maybe that was a little sign, or maybe that was a message. And trust that that is going to happen, and it can surely be.
So let's say that you are a Kwan, and, and you look like this, right? You look like Kwan, who is our videographer. So let's say you are videographer Kwan, okay, and you want to help him differentiate between intuition, right, and also programming. How can Kwan do it?
Okay, so to caveat that question, sometimes there is, well, what's my intuition and what's my programming? When you're just really kind of exercising your intuitive muscle, how do you know the difference between the two? And so that goes back to a really foundational and very simple lesson of love versus fear, or light versus heavy. So if I'm looking at, well, how do I know if this is really like me coming through? It feels light. That's what I've chose. That's the rule that I have built around my intuition, is that when my intuition is speaking to me, that doesn't mean, it might not be a little scary because I have to be courageous and grow, but it's also going to allow for me to feel light, feel expansive, and feel like, you know, maybe I don't know logically why, but this does feel like the next step. Do small things. Trust yourself, kind of like we were talking about with sitting with yourself for a moment, asking, should I do this or should I not? And that starts to exercise the intuitive muscle, so you can get familiar with what using your intuition from a vibrational level feels like. Oh my gosh, it's tickling my throat the whole time. So if you like this video, make sure that you subscribe. Don't forget, subscribe right now, subscribe. And I want to invite you to an incredible free training. It's 1 hour. You've got to go to it. We're gonna talk about, again, the science and the psychology and the woo-woo universal talk around manifestation, but I give you very specific steps as to how to start digging into the psychology of your brain, into your programming, rewiring it, and recreating your life in whatever areas you need to. So there's a free training link below, and again, subscribe. Bounce, bounce, bounce.
We're keeping that in.
And in case no one's told you today, I love you.
Come on. See, that's the first thing, like, it doesn't, that's why I walked off. Cause like, I was like, watch, this is what's gonna happen. I don't even tell anything, Mandy's gonna go over the kill. 1, 2, 1, 2.